Hi, I'm Bob Nystrom.
Hi, this is Bo Dietl.
Hey, this is Rich Big Daddy Salgado.
Hi, this is Don Goodney, and you're watching Sports Biz.
Sports Biz.
Sports Biz with LD. Sports fans, this is Sports Biz with LD.
Hi, everybody. I'm Larry Davis, and welcome to Sports Biz with LD. I'm your host. Brought to you by the Rampart Insurance Group. For all your insurance needs, therampartgroup.com. 388 Restaurant and Lounge, located at 388 Willis Avenue in Roslyn, New York. And one new sponsor, A1 VIP Entertainment. We had them on the show, John Anthony, A1VIPentertainment.com for all your tickets and meet and greets. That's right, meet anyone you want behind the scenes. And of course, again, the Daily Blue. So much going on in the world of sports, just like it is every week. Tuesday night in Minnesota, the All-Star Game. A tribute to the great Derek Jeter. Everybody showing Derek as much love as they can, and why shouldn't they? Derek Jeter is a symbol for Major League Baseball. Wouldn't surprise me if they were able to change the logo from MLB, which a lot of people believe is Pete Rose. Pete Rose probably will go down as one of the greatest players ever. 4192, that's how many hits he had in his career, which was one of those records that will never be broken. They probably would rather have the Jeter logo on there because Jeter is just that kind of guy that you want your children to look up to, your girlfriend looks at, your wife looks at. Everybody looks at Derek of that level. That's just the way he is. Watching the game, seeing him, again, who are they showing in the stands like they always do with Derek Jeter? His parents, his sister, and as you could see from the game, his nephew. Jeter going 2 for 2 in the game. His stats, he's a lifetime .481 batting average in the All-Star game against the best of the best. That's like 500. .481 is 500. Second all-time to Charlie Gehringer, which really didn't have much stats anyhow, Charlie, compared to Jeter. As many games as he played, and he's got a home run, he's got a couple of doubles, 3 ribbies. In 2000, he was the All-Star Game MVP. He also was the World Series MVP. I mean, Derek Jeter just continues to do it all as a baseball player as well as a role model. And this being his last year with the Yankees is the only thing that's saving them. Because if you saw the show 2 weeks ago, I brought that big fork and I said, stick a fork in the Yankees. They are done. And then the following week, they lose Masahiro Tanaka. So they are done. The only reason to go to Yankee Stadium for the rest of the year here at the All-Star break with the Yankees are at 500 is to say you saw Derek Jeter in a game of his last season, because there is no other reason to spend that kind of money, go all the way to the Bronx, battle the traffic to go to Yankee Stadium for what? There's no one on that team you're really too looking to watch. And they said the interesting thing during the game, of course, the numbers spiked because the first 4 innings he was in the game, and then just a beautiful way they did it. The 4th inning, he goes out into the field, and then the manager stops the game and substitutes Derek Jeter. I mean, just great. Waving to the crowd, all the players, a little bit like last year with Mariano. I mean, Major League Baseball, all major sports know how to do it right. They seize the moment. After that, the ratings went down because, listen, that's really who you wanted to see was Derek Jeter. The All-Star Game does not get the looks and the views like it used to. There were 3,200 tweets per minute during the game when Derek was in. After that, it pretty much was over. But again, the tribute to Derek Jeter will continue for the rest of the year as it should. Met the man many times, done business with Derek. Love Derek. one of the great, if not the greatest, right up there as one of the greatest superstars of our time, as a regular guy, not getting in trouble. Just imagine. I mean, a guy like him has girlfriends, breaks up with a girl. At one point in time, the girl has to be upset. She was with Derek Jeter. Nothing out there, nothing in the Inquirer, nothing Star Magazine, nothing on all these TV shows, Entertainment Tonight, Access Hollywood. Could he be that clean? I guess he is. So, Derek Jeter, we'll continue to honor you during this season, and why not? One of the greatest, like I said, or if not the greatest athlete of our time. Who knows how long back we can go. Also on this day that we're shooting this show is the anniversary of David Cohn's perfect game. Now, we've had David Cohn on the show, and we also talked about his perfect game when we interviewed him at the Ron Darling Foundation. A couple of really cool thoughts about that day. One, it was Yogi Berra Day. So happened we were honoring Yogi Berra that day, and they were giving out little Yogi Berra bobbleheads. It's a shame I don't have one. I should have one on set. That would have been pretty cool to have a Yogi Berra bobblehead. I couldn't find one and don't have one. But it was Yogi Berra Day. In between innings, David Cohn said he would always change his shirts. That's interesting. He still did it that day because baseball players, a lot of athletes are very superstitious. And looking at the collectible/memorabilia world, those shirts would have got a lot of money in between each inning if David wanted to sell them, because there you go. You got 9 extra items to sell from a perfect game in baseball history, which aren't many. The manager of the Yankees right now, Joe Girardi, caught that game. Another interesting thing, he said he only shook off Joe once, meaning every time the catcher would put those fingers down, that's the pitch the pitcher is supposed to throw. Only one time he waved Joe off, and he says the time he waved Joe off, he threw a bad pitch, like he threw a ball instead of where it should be, and ends up for the rest of the game, which wasn't much left, he just listened to Joe, as he should. They were just in such good sync that day. The ball was rolling, the pitching was, everything was great. Why shake him off? He did, and he's fortunate that that didn't hurt him, and he gave up a hit or a run. He did not. Also, he said that, you don't think about how you're going to react when you do, if you do throw a perfect game. He said he remembers watching Wimbledon, the tennis, and saw a guy, and I don't know if he mentioned the guy's name, and that guy, when he won Wimbledon, went down to his knees, and that's where he got that whole thing. And there's a very famous photo that David Cohn and Joe Girardi would sign all day long for the public to buy, of him on his knees, Joe Girardi hugging him, and then them picking him up with his hand in the air. Just a great moment, another great moment in Yankee history. And today was the anniversary of David Cohn, who was a friend of the show. Love Dave, great guy, does the Yankee games on the Yes Network. You can tune in and listen to him. Probably does about 50, 60 games a year, and he's very good. He's not sitting there all love Yankees, everything's great about the Yankees. He's got something to say. He says it, whether it's pro-Yankee or not, or pro another team or not. He says it. You got to like that, because for many, many years when George was alive, those guys were censored. Very careful what they say. They can never diss the Yankees and or their brand. So move on from the Yankees. Couple other things off my chest. Talk a little business here. They did a poll, top athletes in the world, in America, around, and Michael Jordan gets unseated by LeBron James. And the interesting thing about the poll, it was done a couple of weeks ago before LeBron left the Heat, did the new decision. So LeBron number 1. Wow. And now you're going to see, and we've seen it since he left to go to Cleveland, the jerseys are flying, the T-shirts are flying. Everything is flying. What a move. One player has taken that franchise to a whole nother level. The franchise now is worth 40% more than what it was. One guy. Think he's worth the $20, $25 million a year that he brings? The marketing, the merchandising. And I brought it up on the show last week when we had the guys from the Sporting News Grill. on and said, if you had a Sporting News Grill right by the Cleveland Stadium in downtown Cleveland where the Cavaliers play, your business would be growing. Every business will now grow. And that's what sports does. It's why this show is a sports business show, because sports is business. It's what it comes down to. Number 2 is Jordan, Michael Jordan. So imagine, it's 2 basketball players. Now, I don't think this was for the world, because it would just seem if they did a poll of the world, it would be the soccer guys. It's just the way it is. There's so much power in soccer, not here in the United States, but in the world, soccer is number 1. It just is what it is. That's a fact. Number 3, we just spoke about him, Derek Jeter. Number 3 favorite athlete. I'm a little surprised that Derek is number 1. Those Yankee haters, there's no doubt there's Yankee haters out there don't like the pinstripe, but Derek has pushed past that, and people have that respect for him. So it's interesting that basketball, being the number 3 sport, it's football, baseball, basketball, that basketball has 3 out of the 5. So let's go over the list. You got LeBron number 1, MJ, Michael Jordan number 2, Derek Jeter number 3, Peyton Manning, there's only one championship, number 4, Kobe, number 5. So 3 out of the top 6 are basketball. Very interesting. And then Dale Earnhardt Jr. as number 6 in auto racing. Very interesting. I would not have thought that. Like, if you would ask me ahead of time, or a lot of people, I think the survey, they would have been surprised at this. I would have thought maybe MJ, Michael Jordan staying. There's no Tiger Woods in the top 5. Even though Tiger's gone down ever since he had that problem with the women and the Escalade and his wife, still, Tiger got a lot of his endorsements back, and, he's been out with the knee injury, just came back a couple of weeks ago, but Tiger not on the list. Very interesting. LeBron number 1, MJ number 2, Jeter, Peyton, Kobe, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Very interesting. Let's jump and stay with the NBA, only because 3 out of those top 6 are NBA. We stayed with the NBA in the free agency, so the Heat got hurt the most with LeBron leaving. So now they signed Luol Deng, Danny Granger, which who knows what he's got left, retain Wade, and give Chris Bosh 5 years, $118 million. Chris Bosh? Wow, they had no choice. So where will the Heat be? They're not winning the Eastern Conference Finals. Well, we know the Knicks aren't either. So the Nets aren't either also. The Nets' only major move was they got Jarrett Jack from Cleveland. They lose Paul Pierce. Nets are going nowhere. Another team. Lose Jason Kidd. Nets are in trouble. The Knicks will be okay. I don't think they're making the playoffs. The Heat are in trouble. Cleveland Cavaliers end up being the big winners. The Knicks, of course, re-signed Carmelo, signed Jason Smith, a 7-footer. They traded for Samuel Dellenbert in the big trade with Jose Calderon coming to the Knicks. Knicks are a better team. Can they make the playoffs? Yes. That's about it. They need a lot more work, but better than not making the playoffs. And the Cavaliers, besides LeBron, get Mike Miller, sharpshooter, and they're pushing for Ray Allen. Everyone wants to follow LeBron. Where LeBron goes, they'll go. LeBron's going to take them. I believe they're back. Eastern Conference Finals. LeBron's back there with the Cavaliers. He'll take them on his back. That team is a team to look at. Keep LeBron happy. Everyone in Cleveland will be happy. Move on. A couple other notes. The NFL is moving the draft. It's been here at Radio City Musical since its inception, meaning that they put it on TV. Radio City's busy. Doesn't have room for them. NFL said, we're leaving. They're going to LA or Chicago, of course, the other 2 huge markets. NFL draft has become a show, an extravaganza, an event. People come to it, want to be there. Draft parties everywhere. The players come to town. Come to hotels, come to restaurants. Bring money to your city. The NFL's a $9 billion business. They have made the NFL draft a show. It is entertainment. It is on TV. That's what the NFL does. That's what sports does. Again, no one can have reality TV except sports, because that is the real reality. You don't know what's going to happen. Even though Vegas will tell you they know what's going to happen, you don't know what's going to happen. The beauty of it. Rookies have reported. Veterans report next week. Football is officially underway. And bringing up Vegas, Vegas has picked to win the Super Bowl. Denver at 6-1. I don't see it, but that's who they're picking. I like, San Francisco. They're close, knocked on the door a couple years in a row. Unfortunately, Peyton does not win the big game. He's only won it once. He's an under 500 quarterback in the playoffs, so I'm not putting my money on Peyton Manning. Jets are 70-1. Giants are 40-1. And it could change. So, teams here in New York aren't going to the Super Bowl unless they make a run. Eli has done it before. Does it mean he can't do it again? No, it's possible. But Jets, they got no shot. They're not going anywhere. They're not even making the playoffs. Again, last year, if you remember, I did not like them keeping Rex Ryan, and I still feel the same way. I don't think they should have kept Rex Ryan. I don't think he's the guy. Definitely not. But we'll soon find out. Not into the Jets this year. Again, like I said, they will not make the playoffs. Keeping with the business side also, soccer is tops on the teams on the Forbes list. Real Madrid at $3.4 billion they're worth. About $3.4 billion. Followed by Barcelona, 3.2. Again, soccer again. Followed by Manchester United at 2.8. $2.8 billion these franchises are worth. And then finally, you got the Yankees. Yankees come in at 2.4. And the Dallas Cowboys come right underneath the Yankees, 2.3. You think it has something to do with the Dallas Cowboys having the eighth wonder of the world, an unbelievable stadium, having a regional sports network? That's what makes these teams worth all the money, like the Yes Network with the Yankees. Those stations make them worth a lot of money. Whether or not the Yankees are good or not, people advertise with the Yankees. All sponsorships are seven-figure deals. You want to get in that stadium, that's where you are. There's a list to get there. But let me tell you something. Like I've said last week, Yankee run is over. Not making the playoffs this year is going to be 2 years in a row. That business model does not work. Buying all these players. Everyone has money now in Major League Baseball, the way these deals are structured. TV and radio contracts are through the roof. They're looking to double it. MLB next year. They're getting $1 billion. They're looking for $2 billion next year. More money in each owner's pockets to spend on players. The Yankee way of just buying everyone is over, and they don't buy the right ones anyhow. I mean, what player have they bought? They bought Tanaka. You're right. That was a great pick, but the bottom line is now he's going to have Tommy John surgery. It's unfortunate. They made one good pick. Everybody else, Beltran, Ellsbury. I mean, who'd they pick up that's so great? McCann. Yankee way of doing business is over. They have no farm system. They got a big problem, these Yankees, because I don't see them making the playoffs. And if they do make the playoffs, they don't have any pitching that's going to take them anywhere. Yankees are done. Let's see how long they don't make the playoffs or aren't a dominant team, and they can spend as much money as they want, where these sponsors are going to jump. It's going to take years because that Yankee brand, that Yankee logo is so strong. It's going to take years to knock them off that top perch. But the way they're going, they will be knocked off that top perch because it's just not a great thing to want to advertise. One of the things happening right here in Long Island tonight, Emmanuel Taylor is fighting Kareem Mayfield. Joe DeGuardia Star Boxing. Love the story. We're going to get him on this show. He started out with nothing, grassroots, and has built a little boxing empire, a mini empire, because there's some big boys that he's not playing with yet. But tonight, Joe DeGuardia Star Boxing is at the Paramount here in Huntington, in Long Island, on ESPN2. Starts at 8 o'clock. I mean, how great is that? Go to his website, see all the great things he is doing. There is a lot going on there. He sells out the Paramount. It's not that difficult speaking to him. It's only 2,000 seats. But he's on ESPN2. He has built, like I said, a little mini empire here. We're going to get Joe on the show. And then the big thing he did with having his guy, Chris Algieri, win the title. He's going to face Manny Pacquiao. He's going to face Manny Pacquiao, okay? Who fought Money Mayweather for big bouts, big dollars. Chris Algieri is going to be fighting him. Chris is 20-0. They're going to fight in China, which is another smart move. You fight overseas, you get a lot more money. Wilby Teller's probably going to be on HBO. And they're fighting for Pacquiao's WB welterweight title. So Joe's guy, Chris Algieri, is going to be fighting for the title. And I think, like I said, it'll be on HBO for a big, big payday. And Joe DeGuardia, Star Boxing, wow, is part promoter there. And Pacquiao's guy is Bob Arum. Now he's in the big boys, big leagues. Gotta love it for him. He's such a great guy. Chris is a great guy. They're here from Long Island. We're all behind it. I'd love to go there. Listen, Joe, if you want to take me to China, I'd love to go. I mean, you invited me to tonight's fight and I can't go, but going to China would be nice. So go to their website, starboxing.com, Joe DeGuardia, and check it out. Look at the upcoming fights. Tonight's fight sold out. Like I said, watch it on ESPN2. Joe DeGuardia, Star Boxing. Okay, one more thing I want to get off my chest. The UFC. Everyone loves the UFC, and it's battling right up there. People are saying it's past boxing now as more popular, but it's not licensed or legal here in New York. Governor Cuomo, for some reason, has not allowed it, and I don't understand why. He's got some medical marijuana he's allowing gambling here. He's realizing where the money is, and this UFC fighting, there is money. They had a fight at the Revel Casino, over 4,000 people showed. A New York fighter won by TKO on the card. Drew over $1 million from the gate. They put a fight in Madison Square Garden. It will sell out. They put a fight at the Barclays Center. It will sell out. Dana White, who is the owner and the man behind the UFC, of course, his goal, he's a New York guy, his goal is to get it here in New York. Once it does come, finally to New York, like I'm saying, they will have sold out shows, not even a question. People love UFC fighting. They basically just go in a closed ring and beat each other up. Who doesn't love that? Boxing a little bit more in control. UFC is not. So the only other thing on my chest, well, there's plenty, but a couple of things left, is the Yankees and Mets report card. I told you about the Yankees thinking they're going nowhere. Mets come into, the worst time for the Mets to have an all-star break. They win 8 out of 10, sweep the Marlins last week. The Mets are going to have to figure out, are they buyers or sellers? Because that's where the Mets are at this point. They have some very good pitching. They have a very good bullpen. They're probably, like I agree with Terry Collins, 2 players away. Those 2 players, a hitter, could have been Nelson Cruz. They didn't pull the trigger. And a pitcher. Could be next year when Matt Harvey comes back from Tommy John surgery, because he will be coming back from Tommy John surgery next year. One last thing. I was at an event Monday night for WFAN Radio and their radio partners. It was an event at the Carlton on the Park, the cigar place. Friends of mine and friends of the show. You can see it online on my website, sportsbizwithld.com. You can see it on the Facebook, sportsbizwithld, and we tweeted out the photos. Corinne Cairo and myself were there. We took photos with a good buddy of mine, Carl Banks, Tiki Barber, Goose Gossage, and Mookie Wilson. Mookie Wilson has been on the show. Those other 3 guys are coming on the show. I told them I'm done with that, okay? They are coming on the show. We're going to have them. We're going to love that. You are going to love that, because those guys got a lot going on besides just being professional athletes. Those guys got some business things off the field. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk to them about their careers as well. It's almost over. I want to thank my sponsors. I want to thank the Rampart Group Insurance for all your insurance needs. They're the place to go. Want to thank 388 Restaurant and Lounge, 388 Willis Avenue in Roslyn, and A1 VIP Entertainment. I don't have the tickets with me, but we're giving away tickets to the show in Manhattan, Rocky, the boxing show. David L. Martin, our producer, is going to get them up on the website and Facebook. You call in to the show, you can Facebook to the show, or go on our website and win 2 tickets to see the show Rocky. I also have some Met tickets we're going to put up there. And again, from our new sponsor, A1 VIP Entertainment, will be giving us tickets and meet and greets for all of you out there. Again, thanks to the Daily Blue. I'm Larry Davis, host of Sports Biz with LD.